talk about peer pressure. You know that pressure to behave or to act a certain way just because your friends are? Now, we can learn a lot from those around us, but sometimes we find ourselves in a situation where we feel slightly uncomfortable and everyone else seems to be okay with it, but it just doesn't sit right with you. Well, that's totally normal. Peer pressure is a normal thing. Everyone goes through it. I go through it, and even like movie stars and actors and singers like Billie Eilish herself. She said that she went through a really uncomfortable year where she felt like she had to go to certain shops and dress a certain way just to fit in. So it's something that we all experience. But like, why do we do it? Why do we go along with peer pressure? Well, we do it because we want to fit in, because we want to feel safe. But then what do you do in them awkward situations where, it can be really difficult or hard to speak up or say something? Well, lucky for you, we have 3 tips to help you guys deal with peer pressure.
Firstly, did you know that just understanding how peer pressure works can actually give you the confidence to deal with it? Picture a situation, set the scene here, you're at a party and this playlist comes on that is absolutely terrible. I mean, you just cannot dance to it, it's just no energy at all. No one actually likes it. But the problem is nobody is actually speaking up and saying anything about it. If someone would just speak up and say something, no one would have to listen to that terrible music anymore and you could finally get your groove on.
A study was done in a group of students and they asked them to fill in a survey, and the room in which they were in filled with smoke. Now, when the students were by themselves, they immediately got up and went for help. But when the students were in a group, they just sat there waiting for one another to act. So no one did anything. They just sat there in a room filled with smoke. Do you see a pattern? People only went along with things because they thought their friends would too. But the problem is, their friends weren't sure either, and if someone had just said something, they would have all realised that they felt the same way.
If you find yourself in a situation where your friends are going along with something, but it just doesn't sit right with you, it's just challenge it. It doesn't have to be a big dramatic no. It might just mean saying something to one of your friends in the group that maybe you trust. Chances are they probably feel the same way as you. And remember, scientific research actually says that once one person speaks up about something, the rest of the group are far more confident to do it as well. So you could be really helping your friends to stand up for themselves.
The second tip is to think about your boundaries. What are you okay with? What are you not okay with? Peer pressure is often a lack of respect for our boundaries, so it's really important that we actually know what those are. Have you ever had an opinion about something, maybe something really small, like your taste in music, your favourite band, and you feel pressured to change your opinion about this thing? So your boundary here is having the right to your own taste in music, which is being crossed when you feel pressured to change your opinion about it. So in a second, pause this video and think about it. What are your boundaries? What are your values? What are your beliefs? What are the things you're okay with and not okay with? Our boundaries form our character. It's made up of things that matter to us. So step 2 is to think about your boundaries. But we need to have confidence in order to stand up for our boundaries.
Our third piece of advice is to take small steps first. It would take a miracle for you just to watch a video and to change the way you behave. But if you start making small changes in the way that you respond to peer pressure, you will grow more and more confident in resisting it. Think about confidence like a muscle. Just because you don't necessarily have loads like me right now, it doesn't have to stay that way. You can exercise it, starting small, and the more you do, the more it will grow. Confidence, build muscle with confidence. Confidence, work on confidence. I resist peer pressure.
To grow in confidence, we also need to see that we are valuable and worthwhile. Personally, I get this from my relationship with God. Just knowing that God created me and loves me unconditionally makes me realize that my life has value and my choices and opinions matter. God loves us not for what we do, but simply for who we are.
So take a moment and think about it. Where do you get your self-esteem from? And who tells you who you are?
So remember our 3 tips in order to deal with peer pressure. And tip number 1, just remember how it works. That people usually go along with things because they assume everyone else wants to too.
So next, think about your boundaries. What are you okay with and what are you not okay with?
And finally, take small steps and make small choices to help you grow in confidence.
So a good way to think about peer pressure is to ask yourself, would I do this if I was on my own?
Hey, it's me again. Thanks so much for watching the video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give us the old thumbs up below. That'll be much appreciated. Also, if you haven't done it for whatever reason, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Remember also, you have a Snapchat that may be worth your time checking out. Bye bye.